I've got 1 week to finish a project. And after some planning, we find ourselves in the woods in search of a tree. This big guy is going to be the perfect solution for a problem I've been having for a while now.
And it all started on a nice Saturday morning with me making a lovely breakfast. But then I sit down ready to read my book and it's gone. So I get up, look around, and I find every book that isn't mine. Until I do find it. So I head back, ready to enjoy my breakfast. But at this point, it's soggy. I don't want to lose my book anymore. That's why I'm making a bookshelf to keep it safe.
So the 3 phases to make the bookshelf are: collect and cut the wood to size. 2, assemble the pieces. And 3, make the carvings.
Yeah, go.
The pieces we needed to find were some logs for the legs and branches for the supports.
Does it fit?
One thing about natural wood is that it can be unpredictable. I do not know what we're gonna do with this bad boy here. Shoot. So, we got a little problem here. So, apparently this whole tree here is actually rotten. So we were carrying these little pieces, and as it fell, it kind of just so right here, see how it just pulls away like that? Not great for sculpting it, not great for what we want to use it for, not great for anything, honestly. Probably just trash.
Half of our wood was rotten, but we were determined not to let it slow us down. So we turned our attention to the support pieces.
That goes there. Oh, that was a little aggressive. Whoops.
After some progress, we searched for a replacement log for the legs and actually found one just 10 feet from the table. It fell down roughly a year ago and is much sturdier. But it did give us a bit of trouble.
Oh, those knots are not going to be easy.
Once the two sides were flat, the legs were easier to work with. We could draw lines on them now, which allowed us to start shaping them.
That's it for that spot.
The curved design we came up with has an interesting shape to it. Little did we know how difficult this was going to make the future steps.
This is the design I came up with. Pretty nice. It's got like some two flat sides here and then a nice kind of like round over, almost like an egg. We're making egg legs. Oh, there's the table.
For the next step, we found an old log that had been left in the yard for years. It was a good size for the top and the shelves. All we had to do was cut it into slabs.
That actually so good. That actually looks so clean. Like I feel like that's the technique to have is pull up because it gets rid of all those last little cuts. Like look at that.
To our surprise, though, when we cut it open, it was full of colors created by spalting, which is basically colorful rot.
Pretty good. Hey?
Shoot.
What?
No, but this is what happens when it sits for a long time. It kind of gets rotten a bit. Like that side looks wild. If you sand.
It kind of flared a little bit the bottom.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I know that. That's why I was trying to stop you, just because I was actually like screaming. I was like, Matthew, and waving my arms, and you're just like,
no. We're too worried about the tool and not damaging it. Alright, other side. Actually, there might be an issue with crap. Wait.
A year ticks by. Another project forgotten. Left in a corner to collect dust. Why?
I'm back. It's snow is back. It's winter now, and our project is having some trouble. Let me explain.
This project was only meant to last a week. But by the time spring break ended, our project was still unfinished and we had to hit pause. Soon after, school ended and we moved on to a new project with the three of us. Then fall came and we went traveling. But when we came back, ready to start, we realized we had no workshop to work in and it was too cold to continue outside. So we started making one.
You cut one of these? This one. Huh? Yeah. Ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
We ended up having to start outside anyways because we didn't want to fill our shop with sawdust. And we were just about to toss this old retail store countertop, thinking we wanted something nicer that could hold more, but then I noticed how sturdy it was and how it fit the space so well. So we decided to keep it and add some drawers. The process of making it though wasn't easy. The shelf wasn't square, which made adding square shelves challenging, and it also ended up being the coldest week of the whole year.
Oh, that's smooth. Wow. Who made that?
We also needed a workbench, something to work on. But while making it, we realized we were missing lots of hand tools. And since the design we chose was specifically made for hand tools, we searched in antique stores, on online marketplaces, and at closing shops to find good deals. We collected some gems, but most needed some de-rusting and restoration. So, after making all of these changes and additions, our workshop was ready for us to pull out our project again.
Okay. Oh, that's a little rotten. So these boards are in a bit of a rough condition, and we left them perfectly flat. We just planed them, they're nice and smooth, a little soggy and still wet, which was a bit of a problem, but I've never seen a board warp that much before. We either salvage it or make new stuff. And I don't really want to make new stuff, so
Next, we got the legs ready for assembly by sanding and drilling holes.
ready?
Thankfully, we were able to buy this old drill press from someone's shop just in time to drill all these holes. Next, I planed the top to smooth out the chainsaw marks, and then cut it square on the bandsaw. And after some end grain planing, we were ready to work on the lower shelves.
The next step is to cut this board into two pieces because this is not acceptable.
With all the pieces done, Kendra did a rough assembly without any glue, just to test that they would all fit. And thankfully, after a few adjustments, everything fit together.
Sure. Ready?
This board of cherry was actually a leftover piece that we got for making paddles a long time ago. And we literally just were about to go buy one when we remembered this old board tucked away in a corner. It's just barely big enough, but it's actually the perfect thickness for the carving and the panels.
Nice. Oh, that looks great. I think we're still gonna want to use these little guys. I think that'd be really cool. They're still really strong actually, but we can just layer it to make it look foresty.
I got the panels ready, and Kendra and Alex worked on the back of the bookshelf. The plan was to use the small branches we collected, but putting them in was so much harder than we thought it was going to be.
Oh my gosh. Woo!
Look at that.
So, Kendra just crafted this story, and Matthew made a lovely drawing to go along with it. Now I'm going to go ahead and carve these into both panels.
This story is about a boy who loves to write music. He is very talented, so when he heard about a composing competition coming to town, he was ecstatic. Little did he know it would be the most challenging song he would ever write. Thea lives under the roof of luthiers. Instruments line their walls like picture frames, but they could pass for gold. They were so highly valued. There wasn't another ukulele maker who could compare to the instruments Theo's family created. One of these ukuleles is what Hildegard was going to play when she performed the winning song of the competition. Theo has 2 days left to perfect his song before the competition starts. This shouldn't be too hard. Nobody knew a ukulele like Theo did. With all his experience around this instrument, he could write music that made the strings come alive. But there's one problem. The song he carefully wrote all year long doesn't have an ending, and he's all out of ideas. That left 2 options. Come up with an ending fast, or quit the competition. Theo tried everything he could to come up with an idea, but nothing would fit. His mind raced constantly, transfixed at finding an idea, but soon the deadline came, and an idea hadn't. The last straw was when Hildegard showed up,
banging on their heavy oak door. Marching right up to the most glorious instrument in the room, she demanded,
I'll play that one for the competition. Give me a closer look.
She looked at Theo expectantly, and he carefully removed it from the wall. Theo watched Hildegard's hands dance across the strings, hoping this might give inspiration for his song. She did play amazingly, but an idea didn't come. Before he knew it, Hildegard was finished, and she whirled out the door with her new ukulele in hand.
A heavy sigh escaped Theo behind her.
As Theo made his way to town, he tried to persuade himself that it was still a good piece. But when he saw the concert hall and other competitors streaming in, he wasn't convinced. His right hand clenched tight around the music. It simply wasn't good enough.
Why is it so unfair? His mind screamed.
Theo watched in the square as people rushed by him with their submissions. But one thought kept him from stepping forward. A song is not a song without an ending. Suddenly, he turned and ran blindly, straight to the woods. Boots hit the dirt, snapping branches, panting, scratched.
Theo collapsed on the dirt. Alone and upset, he lay still.
The first thing we're gonna do is, and then we're gonna glue them, and then we're gonna
Wait,
put.
slow down. So these two.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Want to turn on the camera? It's on?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Ah, no.
Darn it. Ah! Tragedy. Now we're cruising. We're finding the rhythm.
Is that your head?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh. I think we should just stop here.
What do you mean?
It's gonna harden like really quickly. I think we should clean all of this stuff up. Are these clamped in? We should clamp those.
It's pretty good.
Okay, good.
Why isn't it going further?
Try putting that leg on and see if it fits.
Nope.
Needs to be squished.
Yeah. Like half an inch. Do you want to get the top leg? It fits.
Awesome, that was the hardest part.
That's crazy. There's a lot of glue coming out. Oh boy. We gotta make sure we just get off the parts that can't really be sanded off,
Yeah.
like the bark. It's dripping all over the carving.
Yeah, that's okay.
Watch out for yours. Don't let yours fall. I have to clean it up very well. Oh, smudge. Wait, stop.
Stop. The carving actually looks really nice on it.
Nice.
At first I was kind of like, oh, it's so like intricate, but it's kind of cool, intricate. Like one of those old-fashioned things. I'm just gonna clean this up, Matthew, and then I'm gonna high-five you, okay?
Okay.
Wow, this has probably been the hardest glue up yet to date. Gosh.
In applying the finish, I wasn't aware that there were two different sets of instructions. Wax finishes should be applied as thinly as possible, with any extra wiped away. If it's too thick, a cloudy layer forms on the wood. I didn't find this out till later.
hardened white buildup, like graffiti almost, on our beautiful masterpiece. Yeah. Now time to fix it.
The drying wax had to be scraped away from every surface of the project. The hardest part was how it got stuck in all the cracks of the carving. We removed it with a little toothpick and rag till 11 at night.
And here we are. After 4 hours, I think we're done. Let's see how it looks in the morning. I just woke up, guys. Morning. A beauty here. A year in the making. And I think we might be done. My colleague over here says the finish is done drying, and pretty happy with it.
For a while, Theo could only hear the angry cacophony of his thoughts. But then, something new took place. Silence. What is there when there is only silence? The longer he sat, he began to realize that it wasn't truly silence. He looked over and noticed a river trickling quietly over the rocky bottom. A woodpecker tapped a beat on an old tree. Insects buzzed by on the water. Slowly, the music of nature came alive around him. Suddenly, Theo became aware of a little thought. With the space for it to unfold, Theo clearly saw how his song would end. He frantically fumbled for the pen in his coat pocket and smoothed out the crumpled sheet of music he had so lovingly created. Thinking fast and scrambling to keep up with his thoughts, the idea materialized on the paper. This is what he had needed all along, a quiet moment of stillness. Theo set out to find Hildegard's house and bring her his song. I need to find a way to get this to her, Theo whispered to himself. Then, Theo silently climbed the tree that neighbored her house. On the highest branch he could manage, he took a breath to focus, raising his arm a calculated stare, and whoosh through the air. The precious music caught a favorable current and glided through her window, folded in the shape of a paper airplane. For a bit, Theo just watched the window that now held his music. It was in Hildegard's hands now. That evening, she played. And from the open window of the concert hall, the sound sweeping through, he recognized.